We love cake so much we decided to make it a full-time business. For me, Sammy.
And me, Bronya.
Join us on our journey of discovery as we meet fellow cake professionals, artisan cake makers and home bakers who will give tips and advice on the Business of Cake Making podcast, glitter included.
Follow us on Instagram and listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, or wherever you listen to your podcast. Sign up to our newsletter and visit the blog at daisycakecompany.co.uk.
Hello, Bronya. How are you?
Hello, Sammy. I'm very, very well. Thank you very much. And how are you?
I'm very well. I'm a little bit tired. And my internet's working. I'm in my house today. I'm not in my sister's den.
That must be quite nice, actually being at home.
Yeah. It was a lot easier. I'm a bit tired as well because I did a festival this weekend selling cakes.
Yes.
And fresh strawberry, which my friend supplied from his farm in Durley.
That's really good as well, isn't it? Strawberries too. So you can either have really unhealthy cake or strawberries, or get strawberries and stick them on your cake.
Yeah, I did both. And then when I dropped off the strawberries I didn't sell this morning, they went, "Oh, have some more strawberries, and here's some chutneys, and here's some jam." So I was on a win-win.
Nice.
I ate a whole punnet on the way home. They were so very English strawberries.
Strawberries are so good this time of year as well. They're like bang.
Yeah, they were heaven. They were heaven. So yes. So what are we going to be talking about today?
We are revisiting episode 28. So this is episode 126, and we are going over 100 or nearly 100 episodes back to episode 28, when we talked about time management.
I should have listened back to it to see what I said. I wonder how much what we're going to say has changed, or if at all.
I was going to listen, but then I thought no, because I wanted to come at it with like fresh.
Yeah, because it would influence your answers, what we talk about today.
Yes.
So
but I think a lot's changed since back then. I think we were in the middle of COVID, or near COVID, or just come out of COVID. I don't know. I think we've learned quite a bit since then.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
And our life.
And I definitely, our lives have completely changed time and time again. And I think as well, I've definitely learnt.
Yes. I'm much better than I was.
Same.
Much
Same.
Better.
And I can really see it in my work, because I am disorganised and very messy. So, and I implement a lot of the things that we have learned along the way. So I definitely.
With my shed, when I first started baking for the cake shed, I used to get really frustrated because it was something new for me. And I used to get really frustrated. I'm spending so much time on, and I don't need to be spending all this time on this. Why am I spending so much time? And then you kind of look back and go, right, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do the other. And then once you get it all sorted, now my cake shed takes me 2-3 hours a week. Whereas at the beginning it was taking me like between 8 and 10 hours a week. Yeah. Now I've kind of got this sort of like time management in place. It's easier, and then so therefore you're earning more per hour. Yeah,
that's right. I'm not saying I'm invincible. Oh, no. I do sometimes fall off the railway tracks.
Yeah, I sometimes fanny about.
Yeah. But I've actually put what distracts me on here.
Okay, right then. So shall we? Right. So the way I've started, I'll start by saying this is a good time of year to do this because it's becoming busier.
Yeah, it's busier. Yes,
wedding
definitely.
season is starting, festival season is starting. It's just a busier time of year, and also kids will be on holiday. So we're on the last half term of the year. So that kind of stuff, hasn't it? End of term stuff coming up, which means that in just 5 weeks I've got 6 weeks off. Yay! But the one thing that I wrote down to start off with is that time is more precious than anything at all, because it's the one thing you can't make more of.
Yes.
It's more precious money than anything. You cannot make more time. Once time is gone, you can't get it back.
Yeah. You know, sometimes people say to you, "Can I get you anything?" I quite often say, "Can I have some more time, please?"
Yeah. And I think also both of us, I think since we did that last episode, both of us have lost people in our lives as well. And that makes you more aware that you don't have enough time with other people. And so you don't
and for you
all this time in your business when you could be spending it with people you love or doing stuff you want to do.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Right.
So I have worded this in such a way of what do you waste time on? Because that is the crux of it, isn't it? You're
what do you fanny about doing?
Yes, exactly. And one of my things is shopping. You know, so this is for our business.
Yeah.
Shopping is essential because if you don't have the product, you can't just sit down at your laptop and go, "Oh, I'm starting work."
Yes, yeah, you actually have to have the stuff. Yeah.
So shopping is, for me, a great way of time management because you could shop locally, you could buy a bit here and a bit there and pop into that shop, but you're wasting so much time popping in here, popping in there. They don't have that smaller shop. You know, some people like it if you can shop local. You know, if you could put it on your website and you could charge a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm shopping local, which is I'm all for.
I think we did at the shop. We used to a lot of our stuff was like we used to get local flour, we used to get local eggs. But then we were a member of Hampshire Fair, and that went for us as well.
Yeah. So. If you want your efficiency to roll into your shopping, God, that sounds like I'm very clever.
Who are you?
So planning your shopping.
Planning is like on my list. Planning, just plan stuff. Yes.
Yeah. So do you do your shopping once a week? Do you do a big shop that covers you for the whole month? So I tend to do my shopping weekly.
Yeah, I do.
Because I don't have the space.
Exactly. I don't actually. I have one small cupboard where I've got all my ingredients. And whilst I would love to buy in bulk, I just don't have room to buy in bulk.
No. If I could, I would.
Do you go to the shop?
Well, it depends because sometimes I like to go because you see stuff that you think, oh, I need that.
Yeah. And
you're running low. But the majority of the time, and it tends to be on a Sunday night, I'll go, right, this Christmas really buggers me up with this because you go in to do this and all the slots have been taken. But so for 11 months of the year, I tend to go in on a Sunday night.
You do online shopping?
I'll go, blah, 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 I'll book my slot. And if they haven't got any spaces to deliver, I'll do a click and collect.
Okay.
And I do it like that. And then you just pop along, pick it up. It's 15 minutes away from me. So it's consolidated.
Yeah. See, I go to the shop, but then I do it, I'm already out because I'm at work. So I do it on my way home. And I can do a shop for ingredients in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I went with Jules one day and I said to him, right, I'm going to go to the shops. I've got to go and get my ingredients. I'm going to go to the shops. He went, I'll come with you. I was done, right? Completely finished. He was just coming out the first aisle.
So yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? He went, well, I've been having a look. And I'm like, no. This is business. I'm done. I'm going now.
Yeah, that's right. Because time is money. Yeah. Time is money. And also, do you just buy exactly what you need? Or do you buy a little bit more?
I like to have stuff in the cupboard.
Yeah, because mistakes do happen.
I like to have extra in the cupboard.
Yeah, and there's nothing worse than at 2 o'clock in the morning. Not that this happens to me anymore because I won't work too late now because, you have a life, as we were saying.
Boundaries.
Yeah. But sometimes, you cut into a cake and you're like, fuck. Sorry, excuse my language. It's just like It's sunk. I did a Jamaican ginger cake on Friday, and I also baked another cake at the same time. And the Jamaican ginger cake could have been at a higher temperature, but I just thought, it'll be okay. But it wasn't, and it came out uncooked, and sunken. I did give it to my next door neighbour, and she did enjoy it. But so I had to rebake that. So I can't remember what I was talking about.
Extra. I do always have extra.
Extra.
So I buy my eggs by the tray, actually, and I get that from the market. So I always have extra eggs because I don't know. It's the thought of just running out of something like eggs or flour or sugar. I mean, seriously, it's just and then it's a mad dash. And plan. Do you write lists? Are you a list writer?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Right, do you write lists on paper? Do you write lists in your phone?
Well, I'm a bit of both because we're both of us have done notes, note apps.
Yes.
Previously as our product of the week, and I like to do a bit of both. I love a paper list, but I'm notorious for leaving the list at home.
Yeah.
So I do like to do a bit of both to make sure I'm covered.
Do you write lists for anything else? So I like to have my week. I like to have like a plan for the week, and there's pretty much the same. It depends on what cakes I've got, if I've got any extra cakes coming in. But I tend to have so it's all like the prep, isn't it? So you start all your preparation, you go through all your orders, see what orders you've got, see what you've got coming up, write a plan for the week. So all the things you've got to make, you've got to bake, you've got to buy, and you have all that kind of going forward.
I like to do it on a 2 weekly rolling basis, because then that means, because I am ditzy, I do forget stuff, so that I'm kind of more covered, because that sinking feeling of, oh my God, I haven't got a box.
Yeah. It's bigger things like boxes and boards that you wouldn't necessarily get on a weekly.
Yeah, you just get them I primarily, I can't get my words out, use cake stuff for my
but also you make
that
a lot
sort of stuff,
don't you? So you're making flowers and things all the time, and all that needs to be made ahead so it can dry. Whereas I don't do that stuff anymore.
No,
not in that.
I haven't done any for a while, actually. I think I've got some coming up next week.
You've got everything coming up next week.
I have got a very busy week.
But I do like a bit of prep. So I do like to plan. I like to write my list. I like to write out what I've got to bake, when I want to bake it. So there's kind of a plan to what I'm doing, because if you... It's a little bit like you're pissing in the wind otherwise, isn't it? It's like, I don't know. I know I've got that to bake, and I know I've got that to... Whereas if you've got lots of vanilla cake to bake, then you can see how much you can fit in your oven, and then you can be more efficient with how much you're going to do. You can bulk bake, batch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Batch baking is like the way forward. Everyone learn to batch bake, people.
Yeah, and this is definitely a way. It's not the same anymore, because since I find even now, since COVID, I get a lot more cakes at the beginning of the week.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday. Do your head in. Do your head in.
Yeah. So I like to be able to go. So Monday, there's a ship horn going off there. I don't know if you can hear that. Ooh, the cruise ship must be going out. So I like to have one day where I do my baking.
Yeah.
One day, so I don't like crumb coating, so I have a tendency to put this off. So I have to go, do your crumb coating this day, so I know it's done, and then make sure you cover all your boards for the week or for 2 weeks if you can store them.
Batch things, And the other thing I do because I've got a chest freezer, so I batch bake my chest. I put everything in my chest freezer, and nothing stays in the freezer more than a few days. But it's just so I can get all the baking done, so I'm not baking and decorating. And there's nothing worse, actually, than baking a cake and then trying to crumb coat it within hours of it out of the oven, because they hate it. They just hate it.
Crumbs everywhere.
Yeah, it needs to settle. It needs to, chill out a bit and come back to where it needs to be. And so I bake everything in one go and put it in the freezer, and then get out what I need as and when I need it.
I also this is a tip that my friend Sam gave me, which I never thought of doing before. I don't know why. Is make all your buttercream at once. And you just need to put it in bowls. Yeah. But I tend to put it in bowls, but you can cling wrap it, and you can freeze it as well if you wanted to.
And ganache. Ganache is the same. You can freeze ganache. Make everything ahead, and then it's there at your fingertips when you want it to all come together.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh my God, it's so much easier.
Another thing that think about when you're doing all your prep that we don't always think about, but it's things like if you're having to deliver something, your delivery routes. And
if I have a delivery, when I take the address, I always
it's
look it up on Google Maps.
Yeah.
I always look it up
on a Friday,
write it on the paperwork.
Yeah, have it all there. Know that it's going to take you half an hour, or even if it's like a wedding venue, say to the bride and groom, say to the couple, say to the venue, is there anything I need to know about? Is there speed bumps?
Yeah.
Just so it's not a shock on the day of the delivery, because there's nothing worse than.
Yeah, and it's handy when you phone up the wedding venue and say, "Hi, I'm Sammy from Daisy Cake, Hampshire."
Not everyone else will be saying that, but hey, yeah.
I'm phoning up about. I'm going to use Barbara.
Barbara. We love Barbara.
Barbara and Jeff.
Oh, and Jeff.
Are getting married, and I'm turning up at this time. Yeah. Will the cake table be ready for me then? Check that the cake stand, whether you're providing it or whether the venue's got it, and remind the venue you're providing the cake stand, because I hate it when you turn up, there's no cake table, no cake tablecloth, and then they go, cake stand?
Yeah. and then you're like, and I've got another 3 cakes to deliver today. Could you get a wiggle on, please?
That's,
Standing around waiting for someone at a venue is the most depressing thing, when your cake is in the car getting hotter and meltier, and there's people running around going, cake stand, where's the cake stand gone? I'm sure it's in the safe, you'll have to get the key. And I'm like, just
And plus as well, if you've touched base with them and you rock up, you go, "Hi, I'm Sammy," and they know who you are as well, and you've made that contact as well, so they're already like, "Oh, she's efficient."
Yeah, it's all in the prep, but what it's doing is it's making your life easier on that day of delivery, so you can either deliver quick and get out and get onto your next delivery, or deliver, get out and have a life.
Of course, using your I have a cake box. I know you have a cake box as well. Always make sure it's stocked up, and ready to go.
Your emergency box, just take
it. I've got to redo mine actually, because I took a lot of stuff out to wash it, and I've just packed it away in my
you need to get that back
tool
in your
tray. And I suddenly thought the other day,
because you're going to get to it, you're going to need something, and it's not going to be there.
Yeah. Oh, scissors. Always have scissors in your box. Because you might put ribbon on your cake. There's so many things. I'll go, where are my pink scissors?
Pink scissors, not any old scissors. Pink scissors.
Yeah, because the pink ones. Why are the pink scissors out the box? Because they belong in the box. I like to colour code in as well.
But also, as part of that prep, so it's like building routines. It's like building all these routines into all the things you're doing. So if you're going to deliver a cake, build a routine into that delivery. When you're making your cake, build routines. And then it's almost like a muscle memory thing, isn't it? You don't have to think
definitely.
about it as much. And if you're not thinking about things as much, you're not... things become easier and quicker and more efficient.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about shapes now. So you have a shape, a triangle, and this I call it like it's your triangle of work.
Yes.
So like in the kitchen, you have your fridge, your oven, and your sink. So that's your triangle there. So you should have everything in that triangle. But where I work, where I sit and work and I make stuff, if you've got your paintbrushes over there, you've got this over there, you've got to travel from here to there. You can't just go, right, it's there, reach it, sort of thing. So have a look around your workspace and reevaluate where everything is. Do you have to get up every time that you need to get your pink scissors, or So
I have to say, saying that, because until before we had I had my cake room out in the garage.
Yeah.
I had like all my cake stuff in boxes in the garage. Yeah. But I was still baking in the kitchen. So every time I was baking something, I'd go, right, I'm going to go out to the garage and I need to get these tins and that and that and that. And you'd always forget something. And the time it took for me to bake a cake was just obscene, because I was like backwards and forwards.
And I think as well, that kind of puts a Debbie Downer on it as well.
It's like, I've got to get there again. I forgot to get this. Yeah. So my studio isn't big. My little cake room isn't big, and I like it that way. I would hate to have a big space, because I would lose stuff, and just fanny about too much. You know?
And do you put your stuff away in exactly the same place every time?
Absolutely.
Because that is such a time saver. Like I've got 2 sets of drawers, with rainbow drawers, and they've got lots of drawers in them. So I was thinking about this just now. So I know in what goes in. I've got shapes at the top, flowers, leaves, and it goes on so like that. But I was thinking, I'm sure there are some people. Well, I know my friend Sam, she labelled everything. Everything was labelled intricately. So I guess if other people are putting your stuff away.
No one ever comes in my kitchen.
No.
But it is like it's a place for everything, and everything in its place.
Yeah.
Then you do know where absolutely everything is. So I've got a pot for spatulas. I've got a pot for spoons. I've got a pot for knives. Everything is it might take
actually because go on, pardon.
Well, it might take
because I
you go.
So because I've just moved, I've done another rejig of my stuff, and I had a lot of my electrical stuff or my mixer stuff in the stock room at my old place.
Right.
But now I'm like, I like this. I've got it all in one cupboard. So my steamer, my sprayer thing that I can't think of the name, all my whisks and everything are in one cupboard. And I haven't done that before. So that for me was something a bit cool.
Yeah, it's just, and the other thing.
What were you going to say? Because I kept interrupting you.
I don't know.
You've forgotten.
That was like it's gone. It's out my head now. Jeez. The other thing I find about being efficient with time is to not have too much stuff. Because if you've got too much stuff that you're rummaging through, stuff that you never use or you've used once or whatever, just get rid of it. Don't have it. Don't buy it.
Yeah. Duplicates. Sorry. And Andy is letting the world know that there's another dog outside and he lives here. Andy, come back in. Come on.
No, he's going to tell everyone. Just make sure that your stuff the stuff that you use all the time is to hand, and that's what you've got all the time. But we've all got stuff that we don't use. Don't put it in front of the stuff that you do. Put it in the back of your...
Well, I was going to say about that, if you're going to do a reshuffle or a sort out, stand and look at your stuff and go, have I ever used this? Will I ever use it?
When was the last time you used it?
Do you need it?
And does it need to be hanging on that hook in that place where something else more important could be?
So I have got hexagonal tins, heart-shaped tins, So many heart-shaped tins, so many.
Wow.
And when I do a heart-shaped cake, I don't use them.
No. Because I bet you can't be bothered to find them. I'll just cut it out of a round one.
I find it easier doing it out of a round one. So I've got a big pile of stuff over there that I've just sorted out, and I'm going to sell it all because someone else could be using that.
And it's just stuff that's in. The other thing is that to be more efficient when you are working is make sure all the stuff that you do use is at like the front of everything. So certain bowls that you like to use or certain spatulas, whatever, make sure they are like the things that you grab easily rather than having to rummage past the other tools. And likewise with ingredients as well. Make sure all your flour and all your eggs and everything's at the front. Yeah. And all the other stuff is at the back.
Yeah.
Makes life easier.
Definitely. Oh, definitely. So something that us bakers do a lot of is cleaning. So
more cleaning than baking, I'd say, but yeah.
So are you an inefficient cleaner or are you an efficient cleaner? Because you're going to save time.
I don't know.
So I've got my list. You know the checklist that the government thing. So I've changed mine. So mine has got things on it. So it's all on one page, so I can see.
Yeah, well, you're opening and closing text all on one.
Yeah. And then I have my, but I guess it's like my deep clean. So I don't do a 6-week deep clean of the whole kitchen. I'll
do it over
rotate.
6 weeks.
I might do my fridges this week or my cupboard this week and check the dates. So on and so forth. And I really love doing this because it's there. I've got the whole month in front of me and I can see what I have and haven't done. So it makes me do it. Whereas before, when I was using the government sheets, which was very good.
But there's so much on them that's not actually relevant to cake making businesses as well.
Yeah, I do think there is an online one you can do now, but I know I wouldn't use it because I do like to look at things.
See, I have mine on my Notes app.
Yeah.
So I do actually have mine on my Notes app.
Yeah.
Right. Another thing I think which is incredibly important when you're doing your time management is creating boundaries and learning how to block out distractions. So boundaries like I don't work after X time at night. 7 o'clock I'm done. Or
like answering the phone to customers after a certain time.
Yeah. Just create those boundaries saying, so, this is your business. And I know not everyone's the same because some people have kids and they have to put the kids to bed and go and pick kids up, things like that. But set your boundaries out. This is my work time and this is not. And make sure all your family and friends know it. Because that's when the distractions come in, that if you don't set your boundaries, go, no, this is right, I'm at work now, and then your husband or your mate wanders in and has a chat. And it's
I had this last week actually. So I was preparing for the festival, so I'm knee deep in baking, and my friend turned up to collect her tent, which was in my car, but she stayed for quite a long coffee.
Right.
And she's like, oh, you're getting ready for the festival? I'm like, yes. And then she took a personal call whilst she was here. So she was here even longer. So, you have
set those boundaries and
have to set the boundary.
Know what those boundaries are. I mean, I have, if someone's not, I have had times when someone's knocked on the door and I've gone, I'm just making a cake. Is it going to be quick?
Yeah.
So you're setting that out in the start that you're working, because they wouldn't expect to come into your office. If you had an office job, can you imagine walking into the office going, I'm just going to sit down and have a cup of tea while you're working on your spreadsheet? Because you're at home in your own kitchen, it kind of feels like people feel like they can. So
I love wearing my pinny.
Oh, nice.
All day, because then people are like, oh, you're working, because I've got my uniform on, and they it's not like I open the door and I'm, in the bikini doing the baking, very hygienic.
It is all about just making sure people know that you are, what your boundaries are and that you are working. And also customers, like you say, if you don't take phone calls, say after 5 o'clock at night, don't do it. Don't take those phone calls. And then when you talk to that customer, say, oh yeah, sorry, I did notice you'd phoned, but I stopped work by then. Just so everyone knows where all those boundaries are.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be afraid to say it.
No.
Because they wouldn't. They'd say, if you phoned them up at 8:30.
Yeah. If they were at work and you phoned them at work about their cake, they would tell you about it.
Yeah. I used to work in an office and people would phone up and you'd say, I'm at work. I'm working.
Yeah,
I can't take the
because that's when that boundary is that you can't take. Yeah, so just make sure, and it's the same with customers. Make sure customers know where your boundaries are.
I had a phone call the other day. A woman phoned up. She says, "Hello, do you supply cakes?" Yes. She said, "Have you got stock?" She was quite really like that, and I went, "No, sorry, I bake to order." So you haven't got any sugar paste or fondant or anything there? I went, no, I bake to order. So I order what I need when I need it. Oh, okay. And I just put the phone down. It's like, okay.
Bye then.
Yeah.
Oh.
She was a bit brusque.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about something that I need to have boundaries on because I waste so much time on my phone. Just like, I just check. I'm baking, but I'm just going to check, see if I've got any WhatsApp messages or, I want to watch that Pinterest video. I'm going to look this up.
Put it in a cupboard.
Yeah. Or put it in another room. If it's in the cupboard, it's still going.
Put it on charge in another room.
Yeah. Yeah. So then you've got the radio. I love the radio. I have the radio on all the time. So have that on as you're somebody to chat to.
Put your phone somewhere completely different so you can't get distracted by it. Because distractions, I do get distracted. I get distracted. I start fannying about, and that's another thing is that like you, I can tell you exactly how long it's going to take me to get a cake in the oven. From out the cupboard, weighing it, put it in the oven, and I know exactly how long that will take. However, there are days it takes 5 times longer than that because and it's one of those things is that set times for yourself because it is true that if you give yourself 3 hours to make a cake, it will take 3 hours. If you give yourself half an hour to make a cake, it will take half an hour.
It will take half an hour. So time blocking is
I don't time block, but so Jules will say, how long do you need? And I go, I need 1/4 an hour. And I make myself do it.
Yeah,
you can.
So I do go off on a tangent and I don't, and I'm like you, I'm like, I just do this and I just do that. And doesn't my fruitcake smell nice? Because get distracted. But if you've got to get it done.
If you if you give yourself that time limit,
write your plan, and do you? I'll put in there. I'll either put the times I've got to have it done by, or the time to take me to do it, and then it becomes a game because I have to finish it, or I'll set an alarm.
Or can you beat your times? That's the other one.
Yeah.
Can I make up some time at the end of the day, and can I have an extra 10 minutes on my phone?
Yeah.
But I don't decorate many cakes anymore. But I know that I could take 4 hours to decorate a cake that could take me half an hour to decorate because you just sit there and it's like we used to say, walk away from the cake because you will just carry on doing a bit of this and a bit of that and a bit of the other. Set your time. Yeah. This is work. I know it's work that we enjoy and I know it's work that we love, but at the end of the day, it is work and you want to go off and be doing something else that's not work. Yeah.
Can I just say that also blocking out breaks is actually
word, so important. Yeah.
Because I've done it many a time. Like you're supposed to have a break after 5 hours.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like a 15, 20 minute break.
If you were in an establishment, I think you have 10 minutes out after 4 hours or something like that. Yeah. So
by stopping, I tend to have my breaks. I'll start work, I'll do my stuff, I'll have a 10:30, 11 o'clock break. I'll have my lunch at 1:30, and then I'll have a 3:30 cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And then
that's a bit like being at school, isn't it?
Yeah. And then you've got something to look forward to. Yeah. And by having that 10-20 minute break, oh my God, it makes such a difference. You feel rejuvenated and you come back fresh.
So actually something I've got here is stay healthy and keep yourself well. Because if you do things like keeping yourself, eat properly, sleep properly, all that, you are just generally more efficient. And
100%.
The thing is that when you're cake making, it's not quite as easy to do it because you're dealing with food, so you're never going to eat while you're baking usually. We
eat the buttercream.
But I mean, there is this thing that a lot of like people, like workers, used to sit at their desks and eat, and it's really, really unhealthy for you. So actually walk out of your kitchen and go somewhere else and have a complete change of scenery. Yeah.
And maybe incorporate a 10-minute walk.
Yeah.
Because I have to take the dogs out.
Yes.
And it's really nice. And my steps have increased massively.
I bet they have.
Now, instead of just doing 5 steps a day, I'm doing between 6,000 and 10,000, which, is brilliant.
Get a change of scenery, get out, get a bit of fresh air, get a bit of vitamin D. It will do you so much good. It really will. The other thing, sorry, go on.
No, you go first this time.
I've got prioritise on mine. So make sure you prioritise what you really need to do rather than what you really want to do.
Yeah.
Because you'll still need to do the bits that you need to do. And so do those bits.
And maybe do the bit that you don't want to do first.
Yes. Isn't that saying eat your frog in the morning or something like that?
Yeah, definitely.
That you don't want to do, because then you won't spend all the rest of the day procrastinating around not doing it.
Yeah, and definitely.
It's usually a job that will take 5-10 minutes.
Yeah. I've done 2 frogs today.
Ew.
One was messaging my sister-in-law because I borrowed her gazebo and a bit of it broke, and I was like, I'm going to have to buy her a new one. So I've just asked her how much it was. So that's done and dusted. Yeah. And the other one was I had all those strawberries to sell, and I didn't know whether I had to sell them, even if I hadn't have sold them. And I was like, so I just asked him, what should I do with the strawberries?
And it's usually as easy as that, isn't it? It's as easy as...
Yeah.
Do you know what? So where I work in the coffee shop, someone came in the other day and we had this bottle of squash, right? And she said, I'm always useless at making squash. I always make it too strong or too weak. I don't know. I went, just give the bottle to the customer. Let them make their own. Just give the bottle of squash and some water to the customer and they can do their own. Oh, okay. And it's just make it easy on yourself.
Yeah.
Take the stress away, deal with something and just deal with it in the easiest way possible. Yeah. And we all do things that we don't want to do. We all have to tell customers we don't want to make their cakes, last week's episode, but do that first, and then you don't have to think about it for the rest of the day, and you can enjoy your day.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Definitely. I do use that term quite a lot now. I've only recently come to it. Eat the frog.
Yeah, eat your frog in the morning. Yeah. There is a thing to go around it. Google it.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, definitely. But it by going, I've got to eat my frog, it makes you more likely to do it as well.
Yeah,
I think.
And you can just have a happy day.
So when you do your emails, having a templates,
for like autoresponders, automate your life. Just automate your life, make your life easier.
So my favourite thing, Bake Diary. They have a kind of a automatic email. So like you're sending out a receipt, you're sending out an order, they have one already for you. And I just go in and change the words or the names.
Or just automate as much. Either automate or delegate. They're the 2 things.
Yeah.
Get someone else to do it or get a machine to do it. And it's fine. It will make your life easy. If you're having to write an email from start to finish every single time, What a waste of your life.
Yeah. Bake Diary, going back to Bake Diary, they you can also schedule your payment reminders so that you don't have, because I used to write it in my diary.
Yeah.
I used to have it on my calendar because I'd go, oh my God, their cake's next week and they haven't paid their final payment. So your Bake Diary, you can set it to remind them to pay a deposit and to remind them to pay their final balance. Bish, bash, bosh, done.
Perfect. Right. Anything else?
Have a weekly regime and stick to it.
Yeah,
we kind of touched base on that.
Also, I was just thinking about the whole routine thing. Every so often, just think about your routines. Just think, is this the most efficient way I'm doing it? Because, like you had Sam come in and completely shook up everything you were doing, because she was like, why are you doing it like that? Something at work recently. It's a really silly thing at work. Every single night, they cash up. They take the money out of the till and put it in a box in bags. And then every morning, they put all the bags back in the till. And I'm like, why don't you just take the drawer out of the till? Oh, okay. I mean, it's a 2-minute job, but it's just every so often just have a fresh set of eyes going, am I doing this the most efficient way to make this work? Don't do it just because you've always done it. Do it because it's the best way to do it. And if you've got a friend that you can come in and go, you can say, can you just come in and just, is this the best thing?
I was just going to say, sometimes, if you've got a partner or other half and they go, why are you doing it like that? And you go like, no, because I'm always doing it like that. You have to think, no, don't think like that. Think, oh, what a good idea.
The other thing I've got, and my husband goes on about this a lot, because I always talk about multitasking. Well, women can multitask. He says, no, women can't multitask. Don't multitask. Don't try multitask, because what ends up happening, and I hate him for this because he is right on this, is when you multitask, rather than doing one thing really well, you're doing 2 or 3 things not so well.
Yeah.
Do one thing, get it out of the way. Do the next thing, get it out of the way. So try not to multitask, because that's when it kind of all goes a bit pear-shaped, because you're not doing it to the best of your ability, because you've got your head somewhere else.
So
hate him for that.
That's because you're a good team. You're listening to what he's saying.
Yeah, but isn't it annoying when I go, no, but women can multitask? No, they can't, dear. They can't multitask. Okay. Damn. Right.
Damn.
I think that's everything on my list.
Yes, I think it's everything on my list.
So we've got
I've talked about my triangle.
Yeah, talked about triangle. You've got a really busy week next week, haven't you?
Yes. I've got lots of cakes.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of merging into the 2, because this is like blooming Sunday and Monday and cake.
So when we come back in a couple of weeks, I'm going to say to you, and how was your busy week? Did your time management work?
Yeah, well, I'm currently looking at my very messy table with all my paperwork spread over it. So, I need to put it all together.
Planning and prioritising in.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So, I think it's time for Product of the Week. Woo!
Right, you go first.
Okay. So I was laying in my bed this morning thinking about the podcast. As you do.
Was your bed in a field somewhere?
No, I actually slept in my bed last night. Okay. I didn't drink, and I thought, just might as well come home, and then it's all done.
Yeah.
Though I had to unload my car this morning, which was nice. But I was thinking, what product do I use every week, and I can't run my business without it? And it's cake tins. And I've got a massive selection of cake tins.
I've got more cake tins than I've got anything else. I've got more
I totally
cutters than anything. I've got boxes of the bloody things, and I use about 5.
Oh no! So I use all of mine. The stuff I've got in my cupboard now is the stuff that I use all the time. So I've got because I've got 3 of everything.
Yes.
And in fact, I've got 4s of quite a lot as well. And I've got extras because I bake a lot of 8 inches and 7 inches.
Yeah.
So I've got extras of those. Yeah. And I've got the ones where you click the little clip and the bottom falls out. They're not my favourite.
I like when the base comes out, I like them, but I don't like I don't like the clip ones. No, I like the bases that lift out.
Oh yeah. See, I like the ones that are just a whole tin.
Right. Okay. So round ones I like the bases that come out. Square ones I like a normal tin.
Yeah.
I'm fussy, aren't I?
Yeah. And I love the square ones with the sides that you can alternate.
Yes. Are they silver? I can't remember what the
King. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That yes, the ones with the square ones.
Yeah, because they're brilliant. But that's not the brand I'm going for today.
Right.
So the set that I've got, I bought them. Remember, I bought them at Cake International.
Remember. You did a deal. I remember you doing a deal, and I'm like, I'm so impressed.
So I've got 3 lots from. I've actually added to them as well. So I got from 3 up into 12. That was the set I bought, but I've actually got 14s as well and 11s now as well.
I think I've only got 12s.
So yeah,
I have got 11s.
And my favourite brand is PME. I like them.
Yeah,
they're a little bit. I've got deeper ones.
Oh, it's not like you've got 2 or the 3-inch depth.
I got the 3-inch depth, which suits me down to the ground. I think back when I bought them, I think I paid £100 for the 3 sets. Yeah. So I think I got a really good deal. Yeah. I have lent some out to people, and one girl went, "Oh, I've lost one of them." So one of my tins isn't matching because she replaced it.
And I bet they're slightly bigger, slightly smaller.
Yeah. But I can highly recommend them. But you can get them right across the board. Cake Stuff do them.
I recently, so for my shed, I've been doing tray bakes. So I've been doing like 9x11 tray bakes that I then stack and then cut into 3. I bought some Sainsbury's tray bake, but they've got an angled side.
Yeah, I don't.
So I bought from Amazon PME 9x11 rectangle tray bake trays. They're amazing. They're 2 inches deep.
Someone at the door.
I didn't turn the doorbell off in here. So I think they're 2 inches deep, and I keep getting questions on my Instagram. What tin is that? What tin is that? And it's the PME, and because they're the light colour as well, aren't they? So they don't make things bake too quick,
and they're lightweight as well,
and they clean easily. Don't put them in the dishwasher.
I put mine. Oh, I haven't got a dishwasher now, but I do. I used to.
Did they not go funny?
No.
Oh, okay.
If I can't stick it in a dishwasher, I didn't want to know. I did watch a video a while ago about replacing them after a certain amount of time because the way your cake bakes changes.
Right.
But I've had these tins since 2017, and I don't think.
Right. So I will interject here, if I may. So you know the cake tins that we had at the shop. So they had loose bottoms. They all stacked inside one another. The 8-inch, I've recently bought a new set of the 8-inch, and they're made it's a similar kind of, it's like an anodized silver. It's the similar thing to the PME ones. Yeah. And I bought a new set of 8 inches because they weren't coming out of the tins very easily. And I think I just kept where they've been scraped. And I don't think it was where they've been washed. I think it's because I put like a palette knife around them. And I think they'd been scraped so much that they weren't like climbing the sides in the same way, the cakes. And so I was getting like a rim around the side of cake left in the tin. But then they are probably 12.
Yours a lot. Yeah.
And how many 8-inch cakes did we bake in them?
Oh, a lot. A lot.
So I did buy some new 8 inches, but all the others are fine. The 6-inch, 7-inch, all the others are absolutely fine. And they're the same age. I think it's just the 8 inches got overused. So
that's something to think about.
Yeah, but I know I'm moving over to PME with my tray bake tins. I think they're very nice.
Yeah, I do like. I love them.
Yeah.
They're my favourite. And sometimes I'm like, I've got to use the other ones.
I don't like dark tins. I think dark tins bake things too quickly.
Oh, so my dark tins of the 8-inch ones, I don't like because they're loose bottomed and they're heavy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's just the dark. I think they bake things too
Differently.
dark outside. Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. I don't know whether I've done this before, and I apologise if I have. And I think I might have done it recently, but I think it's crucial because I was using it again this morning. A tripod. Have I done tripod recently?
Not recently, you haven't.
So a tripod.
Maybe a long time ago.
A tripod with a phone attachment, okay?
Yeah.
Because if you're doing social media or if you're doing videos for your social media, there's nothing worse than going, where can I put my phone? You know, where can I put my phone? Do I stuff it down my bra? Do I put it on my head? Do you know what I mean? Where do I put this phone? Get a tripod. You don't have to worry about it. It's there. It doesn't move. It's in the same place. You don't have to think about it. Now, I've got a couple of tripods, both of which are really cheap on Amazon. And what I do is I set my phone up with the tripod and I just set it going. And then I can pick bits out to use for my social media, for my reels or whatever. And I don't have to think, oh, where's my phone? Have I dropped buttercream on it? All that sort of crap. I did used to prop it down inside my pinny.
Yeah.
Looking out.
I've seen an attachment that people are putting around their neck.
I do like the look of them, but I just know that I would get chocolate cake on it. It would be a bit
Yeah.
So get yourself a good but inexpensive tripod, set it up in the corner of your kitchen, set it going, just document stuff you do and use it in your social media. And it's just easy. Just a cheap one off Amazon but make sure it's got a phone attachment. That's
that's quite important. Yeah.
Right. We had a lot of comments, more than any other time on our episode last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, resonated. Saying no, being able to say no really resonated with our listeners last week. I would say I got, I don't know. We got it all here, then everywhere. I got it on my Instagram. I got it on our Instagram. I got emails. I think we got it on Spotify. So we've got little comments all over the place. And we normally get 1 or 2 comments, but I reckon we probably got about 15 comments last week.
Oh, that's lovely.
I'm going to read one, which is Heidi's Cottage Cakery.
Oh, yes.
Right. So, dear Sammy and Bronya, just wanted to drop you a quick line to say how much I enjoy your podcast. It's like having a couple of baking mates with me in my cake room. The latest episode, Saying No in Your Cake Business, really resonated with me as I'm a bit of a Sammy and find it hard. Anyway, after listening, I felt empowered and went back on an inquiry for a novelty vegetable patch cake with a figure of a gardener, shock emoji, and said no. I just don't like making novelty cakes, and whilst I could do it, I didn't want to. So saying no felt great. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you for that and all the gems you have given me, Heidi. Well done, Heidi.
So
well
nice. Done. Go, Heidi.
She could have done it, but she didn't want to, so she said Heidi's
Just
Cottage Bakery. No. So well done, Heidi, and well done everyone else. I think we got a few that said, I've said no to cakes today, which was really lovely.
I'm so pleased.
I'm pleased.
I'm so pleased.
I'm pleased that we've empowered.
It's hard to say no.
So hard.
But it feels so good when you do.
Yeah. It really does. If you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to it. Someone actually messaged me and said they'd listened to it twice.
Oh, my God.
They needed it, so they listened to it twice. So well done.
Wow.
So thank you for your comments. If you ever do want to comment, do it on our Instagram, Facebook. do it individually on our own Instagrams or whatever, and we will pick them up and try and
or leave a review,
rate, like,
listen,
recommend it to mates, all those things. It will help.
And don't forget to dance. Always dance.
Right, that's it for another week.
Okay. Thank you very much for listening. Love you all. Keep up the good baking, and bye.